You want me to just do a static, not live, but like I get further up on the screen, do you want me to stay on that and then it goes to artificial?
Yes.
Okay. I know how that is. Okay, so I can share. Okay, so I can just static. Then I'll just leave it at that for that whole session. Just so
I lowered the gains on that one because that was like.
because I think if you're using, are you using Clemence's Wi-Fi? They might have a block on YouTube because it's a school. So I can check my, I'll check it on my phone.
That's like. Picked up a lot of sound.
Hey, I'm getting this video restricted.
It's working.
Oh, right internally because you're on the. It's weird that it lets you stream but doesn't let you view.
But it is live.
That's nice. Oh my goodness.
We're gonna get started in just a couple minutes. If you want to grab any last minute coffee or avena or anything else, welcome everyone.
That's not the way to do it. You have to say you must do it. You must grab your avena. You can't get up there and do it. You have to do it, okay? This is like, no sabe, yo no sé qué voy a hacer.
I feel like I could be in the industry for 20 years and I'll still be like, why isn't my camera working? And then it's just the lens cap.
Okay, I want to make sure that we're mandating that you eat the avena, the cup mandating, okay? There's no way to get around this because this is a very unique avena from Nelly's. So please do that because we got plenty of it on top of it. And there's coffee and other things there. But I want to see everybody eating some avena de coco, okay?
It sounds good. I think that your mic is like super loud, so there's a way to turn it off. Or you just want me to do it? Okay, it's just hot. It's cold up there too. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's fine. So
Matt,
everything's on.
could you give me a frame line? Because I know we tested it, but I want to see how close I can get.
Right there?
Okay, so like right here?
Right there.
Okay, right here?
Do you want tape to mark that?
Yeah.
I've done this with so many times.
Can you check our Facebook to make sure that the link posted on this thing?
Yeah, I can check the Facebook. I'm like checking all these things, realizing that I don't like follow y'all on everything. So I'm just like, oh, I'll also follow y'all at the same time as I check it. Okay, I don't see a link, but I see that you had some. You could, my suggestion, I would say you should edit the post to put the link on the post. Only because like if you comment it, people aren't, like not everybody checks comments. And then I'll refresh the page once you do that. to let you know. There we go. I'll click the link too. Okay, I clicked the link and it works fine. Everything's good.
Exposure looks kind of bright, right? Exposure looks kind of bright, right?
Yeah, it's a little overexposed. I'm gonna run and say hi to Soul real quick before we start.
I'm mourning the closing of the Puerto Rican.
Oh my god, you look much more stable. Did you get some sleep? The food and coffee helps. Okay. I don't mean stable. You know, yeah. So that's
Dame un segundo a recoger la mesa. Ya,
No, es que piden un paleón.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the audience here. Yeah, so we're gonna get.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to control people walking past, so we're just
Oh,
going
no,
to
I
have to
know.
limit.
Visually. Yeah, but don't make it too much because people have to. You're avoiding this.
We're gonna get started.
Yeah. That's why I keep quiet.
Yes, it's the camera. Okay. All right, we're gonna get started. Good morning. And welcome to the Community's Intellectual Space Symposium, Decolonizing Praxis and Chicago's Paseo Boricua, which is commemorating the 50th anniversary of Dr. Pedro Viso Campos High School. That deserves a round of applause. And I was saying yesterday that I started working at the center a little bit after the 20th anniversary. Colonialism. My name events of the symposium, we wanted to just provide a bit of history about Communities Intellectual Space. The first Communities Intellectual Space Symposium was held over 17 years ago in 2005 and grew out of a collaborative partnership between faculty and the Graduate School of Library and Information Science at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. And we're going to hear from some folks who were in that program, and the Puerto Rican Cultural Center, and namely Drs. Ann Peterson-Kemp and Chip Bruce, and I'd really like to acknowledge them. They couldn't be here today with us, but their tireless efforts in those days to the vision of CIS was really important and pivotal. And also Alejandro Luis Molina was involved in those early efforts, and he couldn't be here. He was with us a little bit yesterday, but could not attend. So Ann and Chip were scholars in the field of community informatics, an interdisciplinary field which uses information and communication technology to promote community-led efforts in the areas of social, cultural, and economic development with the goal of achieving positive social change. They began by instructing classes in the community, bringing their students to learn from and with the community and develop projects that could address meaningful needs. From that emerged the CIS Symposium, which intended to bring people from all walks of life, and this is a quotation from the symposium program, bring people from all walks of life together to develop critical, socially engaged intelligence, which enables individuals to understand and participate effectively in the affairs of their community to achieve a common good. It was usually convened around the Puerto Rican People's Day Parade in June, and the event brought together academic scholars, community leaders, and residents, teachers, artists, youth, in engaged dialogue dedicated to themes such as critical pedagogy, community building as curriculum, and Antonia Darrar, who's one of our plenary, was the keynote speaker for that, and the aesthetics of resistance also. Many of the presenters that you hear from today were involved in those early days as community members, graduate students, teachers, high school students, and now over a decade later are community leaders, published authors, engaged scholars, legislators, which I think really speaks to the role of the PRCC and Paseo Boricua in community building and as a context for critical theory and praxis, for intellectual thought and critical action. And so in addition to Antonia, Yadi, I was looking through the program and you presented on being a community scholar, and now you're director of the Center for Puerto Rican Studies, and we're so in New York, and we're so glad you can be with us. And then I have pictures of Jonathan Rosa as a graduate student moderating a panel or two. So it's great to see everyone full circle, and there were, yes. And so with that, I'm going to introduce Jonathan Rosa, who's going to talk a little bit about the current iteration of the Communities Intellectual Space Conference. Thank you.
thank you, Laura. I have to say, Laura has been an incredible collaborator. We've been planning this event for a couple of years now, working with the various center initiatives and programs, and it's wonderful to be able to be together this weekend. This iteration of Community as Intellectual Space, as Laura mentioned, involves commemorating the 50th founding anniversary of Dr. Pedro Albizu Campos High School. So we want to recognize that multiple times throughout the day, which I think we'll have the chance to do, and really to understand the unique nature of so much of the work here, which has involved creating our own approaches to sustaining collective well-being, understanding the need not just to present quick fixes or simple solutions to profound societal problems, but rather to work together to create alternative institutions that can protect us, that can sustain us, and allow us to respond to the challenges that we're facing in so many different aspects of our everyday lives. I think another unique aspect of this community's work is the way in which it really inverts so much of the orientation to community-engaged research, which presumes that scholars descend upon the community to provide answers and solutions and responses. And instead, what we find in so many situations is that the ideas that have been generated in communities like this actually inform scholarship and provide scholars with the theories that they then draw on in their work. And I think when we see the table of books over here up front, and we look at the dozens of academic books, articles, and chapters that have been inspired by this community's work, we're going to celebrate Irma's work shortly as well. So we've got lots of different projects to celebrate today. But I think the unique way in which this community has inspired so much intellectual work, so much theorizing, is really profound and something for us to pay attention to. So we hope to have the chance to bring attention to so much of that work today. With that said, I think we want to get right into our keynote conversation. So I'll go ahead and introduce our keynote speakers and then ask them to join me on stage. So first, I want to introduce Dr. Yarimar Bonilla. Dr. Bonilla is director of the Center for Puerto Rican Studies and professor of Africana, Puerto Rican, and Latino Studies at Hunter College, as well as professor of anthropology at the Graduate Center of the City University of New York. An award-winning scholar and prominent public intellectual, Dr. Bonilla has contributed to The New Yorker, The Nation, and The Washington Post. She writes a monthly column called En Vaivén for Puerto Rico's newspaper, El Nuevo Día, and has appeared on National Public Radio and Democracy Now! She's author of the